there, NBA Straya. How are you going? How you going? You're right, you're probably doing better than your mate Jim. Let's get into that in a second. Basketball, give me the ball, cause I'm gonna dunk it. Yeah! How good was 90s throwback day today? That was pretty cool. We'll talk about that in a second as well. This is NBA Straya. It is Wednesday, hump day, March 4. I'm your still very dusty host, James Clements, here in Larry Armour Studios. Today, we're going to do the All-NBA and three-quarter season awards show, right? We're three-quarters of the way through the season, basically, for a bunch of these teams. We've got a heap of the teams basically at 60 games, so there you go, three-quarters. So we'll talk about that. We'll quickly go through some of today's games, give away a couple of daily awards. But then most of the chatter will be all NBA and your award winners. We'll also rank the Jalens. You might remember we promised this a little while ago. Which Jalen is having the best season? We're going to rank them all. We've also got a Shane Hill shoot your shot, light 'em up award and a pick and preview for tomorrow's game. So without further ado, let's get into it. Episode 1357. I ain't getting no treat 57. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Darcy Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
Oh, you better watch out for the Wemby attack if you're the Sixers. What do you have, like 4 blocks in the first quarter? 6 for the game, whatever. It was chaos. You should also watch out for the devastatingly dusty, hungover Jim. Why is that, Jim? Well, I went to see one of my all-time favourite bands, the Bronx, last night. Do a super show as Mariachi El Bronx and the Bronx. And we had a few beers, and I got home, I don't know, around 1. And of course, you then have Squids going, Dad, it's 6 a.m, you need to get up. And I'm like, I would rather put my head through the window. What are we doing? So yeah, very, very slow start for your mate Jim today. But an awesome night. The Bronx is so good. I was talking this out with a mate. There's 2 bands that I've seen more than any other band in my life, right? And this is kind of fun. It's like, all right, I think it's the Hold Steady number 1, and then it's the Bronx number 2. Especially when you combine the Bronx and Mariachi El Bronx. Yeah, they're easily number 2. And then I have absolutely no idea who number 3 is. I'm like, it's a bit weird. A mate of mine was like, oh, I think mine is Spiderbait. And you're like, geez. I mean, yeah, I've seen Spiderbait a few times. I've seen Regurgitator a lot. Because it feels like, Regurgitator, one of the very first shows I ever saw in Ballarat at the old YMCA when I was like, I don't know, 14, whatever. Maybe not even that. It was amazing. And, they played a lot of the festivals that I went to as a music journo and as a punter. It was great. So I don't know, maybe Regurgitator's 3rd for me. I don't know. Some fun stuff there, though, I'll tell you. Anyway, Bronx is awesome. If you were there, hope you had a great time. I certainly well did. And, yeah, the combination of Mariachi, El Bronx, and the Bronx in the one big show was really fun. So, not so fun was walking through the city, getting one last beer at Heartbreaker. Mates going, nah, Jim, you got to stay. I'm like, no, I have to go home because I have kids. And doing the right thing and actually leaving after that last beer and still waking up feeling like dog shit. Anyway, I'll tell you what, the walk to bloody school and daycare today was fraught. Anyway, let's start today's show the way we start every show, apparently with Jim having a whinge now. Look, you're just lucky you're getting a show today. I do not feel great, but anyway. I'll persevere. How do we start every show here? Oh, the whip around, of course. 90s night was very fun. You got Bob Costas, Doug Collins, the Tsar, Mike Fratello. That was fun. The Tsar of the, the Tsar of the Telestrator. That's what they called him. Pretty crazy that they're all in their 70s. They're all looking pretty good, doing a pretty good job. Speaking of people in their 70s, sadly, Dennis Cometti, Australian commentary legend, passed away, which is very, very sad. He was centimetre perfect, was old Dennis. That's a bit of a shame. Other little bits and bobs. Harrison Barnes missed his first game today since 2021. Ooh, Lord. That's a long time. I think that was his 364 games. Jeez. That's not bad. That's the second most behind Mikael Bridges, who's at 616, which is pretty crazy, man. That's incredible. Mikael Bridges does play. And the last little bits of news, I mean, there's one about about the Chauncey Billups situation where it's like jail. The defendants have been looking over all this, all the evidence against them, including body cam footage, and they're like, oh, this is not going to go well for you, man. Chauncey, behind bars. But they were talking like the prosecutors, etc., in this big case about the, alleged poker games and everything that he was involved in, and talking about plea deals and all this sort of stuff. So we won't find out a little bit more until, they got like a hearing like this week, next week, and then like there'll obviously be a lot more going on. So interesting stuff there. Interesting stuff.
Interesting stuff.
Was. And then we had all the players of the month for February. So out west, you had Victor Wembanyama win player of the month. 22.5 points, 11.3 rebounds, 3.5 blocks a game. Cade wins it out east, 25, 6.5, and 10 assists for Cade. Very, very good. I think Wemby also won Defensive Player of the Month, so that's pretty good for the West. And for the East, I think it was the Defensive Player of the Month out east. Derek White. That's not a bad one. Third in the East in blocks at 1.7 per game. That's unreal. Good on him. Rookies of the month. That was Dylan Harper out west because Cooper Dooper Loop Boop Boop Boop. Flag obviously missed a bunch of games. Dylan Harper's been really good. I'll talk about him later. Connie Nips wins it for the East, obviously for Rookie of the Month. Sure. That's pretty good. Amazingly, Cade Cunningham has also won Player of the Month for the second time this year, which is pretty bloody good. What else? Defensive players we've done. Coaches of the month. I think we got Mitch Johnson and Kenny Atkinson. So for the Spurs and for the Cavs. So that's nice, isn't it? Yeah, I guess it is, Jim. All right, let's do some very brief game wraps from today. We're at halftime in the Pelicans-Lakers game at the moment as I'm taping this because I got to go to the Phoenix Wildcats game tonight for the NBL. So I got to get out here a little bit early. So I'm taping it while the last two games are going on. We'll wrap those up for you tomorrow on the quick hitter. But Pelicans-Lakers has been really fun. Zion's getting up for some sick dunks. It's 51-54 at the half. LeBron is chasing down Kareem's most field goals ever record. I think he needed 11 coming into the game. And what has he got? I think he had 6 earlier. Has he still got 6? Yes. So he needs 5 more. Nice. Anyway, the Hornets, 5-game win streak. Biggest streak in the NBA right now. They beat the Mavs 117-90. Because the Mavs stink. Cleveland. Actually, that was a really good game.
Cleveland!
Beating Detroit 113-109 with no Donnie Mitchell. Harden was really big down the stretch for them. The Pistons were right there with them. Unfortunately, Cade did not make a shot in the second half. That seems bad. Of the things that you want to do, usually scoring is important. I'll just make sure of that one because it was pretty crazy as they said it. And I don't think he got a shot late or anything. So let's have a look. Second half stats for your man's, what's his name? Cade Cunningham. All right. Second half, he went 0 for 5 in the second half. Yeesh. 4 of 16 overall. Rough game. And this is it was one of those games where Detroit are toughing it out. Cleveland don't have Donnie Mitchell. They've got Harden. Jalen Tyson goes off his head. It was obviously like the big sort of, we're 45-15 now, but I guess maybe getting someone else who could score a little bit would have been pretty handy. You're telling me they couldn't use Jared McCain, the Pistons? OKC, that's like found money. It's crazy. But anyway, Detroit could have used him. Philly is sitting there going, geez, that would have been nice when we got our heads kicked in today by the San Antonio Banderas Spurs. The Magic smashed the Wiz 120 in the Harry Potter Bowl. You're a wizard, Harry. 126-109. Bada Bancaro goes off his head. The Miami Heat killed the Nets. They got straight killed too.
But he got straight
And a lot of blowouts today. 124-98. The Knicks, as they have always, we talked this out on yesterday's show. I hope you watched. I talked myself into picking the Knicks. And rightly so, because all they do is walk, chew gum, and kick the shit out of the Toronto Raptors this year. That's the fourth time they've beaten them in big fucking fashion, 111-95. Spindles Ingram went off his head to start the game. He had 26 points before he could fucking blink. Only ends up with 31, though. Cat was really good. He had like 21, 12, and 6. Brunson was really good. Josh Hart was flying around like Josh Hart. That was a really good game. Spurs killed the Sixers, 131-91. Wasn't even that close. Jim, that's 40 points. Yep, could have been even more. It was abysmal. The Spurs put the Q in the rack in the third quarter when they outscored them 35-11. Yeah, it was crazy. Tyrese Maxey still had 21 and 8, but the Spurs killed him. Like 6 blocks, I think, as I said, for Wemby. He had like 10, 8, and 6. It was crazy. The Thunder outlasted the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls sat everybody. Buzelis tweaked an ankle. Josh Giddey just basically went to the bench, didn't come back. 116-108. They could just never quite get within spitting distance right there at the end. Jalen Williams was awesome. 17, 16, and 6. Yabu Saleh at 18 and 12, and the Wolves beat the Grizz 117-110. Ant-Man goes off for 41. Let's start there with the NBA Straya Pro Performer of the Night.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
That is a knife. Anthony Edwards, 41, 6, and 5 steals. He made 7 threes as well. He actually tied up Luka for the most 40-point games this season. That was awesome. I mentioned Jay Will versus Chicago, 17, 16, and 6. He's the only big man in the Oklahoma City Thunder history, basically since they moved from Seattle, to have multiple 15, 15, and 5 games. That's pretty crazy. But the best one, I guess, and you know me, I love Paolo Banchero. I love the Orlando Magic. He shot 15 of 21 today against the Wizards, only 1 of 2 from deep, 6 or 7 at the free throw line, had 37, 5, and 6. It was against the Capital City Go-Go's. Is that what they're called in the G League now? I don't even remember. But, the Magic just need to win games and for Paolo to play well, just so it all gets sort of shifted. And this is one of those big things. Momentum, this part, 3/4 of the way through an NBA season, is so hard to shift. And you just have to get it sort of it's like an oil tanker. You just got to slowly just get it poured in the right direction and away you go. So good stuff from Paolo. Enjoyed that a lot. It was very good. And I mentioned a bunch of the Knicks players as well. How about Spud of the Night?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the Night.
Spud of the Night. We had a few Spuds. 1 of 9 for Isaac Okoro. 1 of 8 for Naz Reid. 3 of 17 for Michael Porter Jr. Yeesh. That is shocking. 4 of 16 for Cade for his 10 points and going 0 for in the second half. Not a great day for him, obviously. But otherwise, we had a lot of Jacoby Walter going 0 of 3, same as Kenrick Williams, and Sandro goes 1 of 6. But yeah, 3 of 13 for Miles Bridges, 3 of 12 for Bilal Coulibaly, and amazingly, no one shot the magic number, which is not yet, but yeah. Still a bit crazy. How about old mate, no mates, Jib?
Old mate, no mates. Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
This is a combination. I mean, I could have still gone with the doubling down of the Trae Young old mate, no mates, because I think I mentioned on yesterday's show, right? The fact that Trae Young got kicked out of a game for the Wizards before it even played for the Wizards is kind of funny. It was also apparently the only story in the NBA the last 24 hours. The amount of publicity it got was pretty weird. It was just a bit, how you going? But anyway, my favorite combination, old mate, no mates, pantsing of the night today is the New Orleans Pelicans dunking on Stephen A. Smith and using the old footage of him just airballing shot after shot after shot. But I absolutely loved the caption from the Pelicans. They said, stick to solitaire. Oh, brap, 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 brap. Got him. And Stephen A did his usual, you want to talk about things from 10 years ago? I just don't know.
I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I just don't know.
But it got me thinking, like, who the fuck cares what Stephen A. Smith thinks, says, or does, right? At this point, it's one of these weird sort of idealized versions of like the talking head. Like they get so famous, they believe their own shit. Their head is so fucking firmly up their own ass that they're just repeating and parroting their own dumb fuckery, right? And Stephen A's been doing this for so long. At what point do you think, like, when was the last time anyone actually gave a fuck about his opinion about something, right? Because it's like his role is just now to be loud and like just say some shit to, like, quite literally just to get a reaction. At some point, you're going to go, what is the value proposition here of that? Oh, we're going to get people talking. That doesn't get people talking. It makes you go, that guy's a fucking idiot. It's the same with Kendrick Perkins. You're like, what the? It's like when Austin Rivers pops up on the broadcast. You're like, shut up, Austin. Whack. I did enjoy him trying to do a podcast and not plugging in his microphone. We've all been there. But anyway, Stephen A. Smith, oh mate, no mate. So at what point do you go, who fucking cares? Shut up. Piss off. And at what point do ESPN go, well, I guess we are paying you a lot, aren't we? Like for what exactly? And I guess it's sort of, there's a bigger conversation to be had there about sports media and celebrity. But it just struck me as a bit fucking strange. And I kind of liked that the Pelicans went after him, stick to solitaire, because this is the same motherfucker who was busted on his phone during the finals playing fucking solitaire and not doing his job. What are we doing here? Anyway, better than Lonzo Ball, Ben Simmons, and Bronny James.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Today it was Jalen Tyson for your Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland! God, he was good. 22 points, 8 of 15 shooting, 5 of 12 from downtown to go with 3 rebounds and 4 assists. He has been wildly important for this Cleveland team. And I kind of love it. He's really fucking good. Like, he averaged like 3 points a game last year. He's like averaging over 12 now. Like, he is a weapon. And today, way better than fucking Bronny, Lonzo, and Ben Simmons, obviously. Nice. All right, let's take a quick break. Come back with some All-NBA and 3/4 season awards right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Daryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
and you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, let's do some All-NBA and 3/4 season awards. This is where we'd usually do yeah, nahs. I guess this is kind of the unpopular opinion of the day. Maybe a bit of an Outback Takehouse. Sort of all rolled into one, really, isn't it? With the All-NBA and stuff. It's a really, before we do that, I guess this is always brought to you by you. That's right, you can help support the show. buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. That's where you can shout your mate Jim a coffee or a tin. Keep the lights on in here. Keep the pirate ship afloat just a little bit longer. I'll tell you what, it was not cheap going to the Bronx last night. A couple of tins and you're like, Jesus Christ. How did one round just cost, like 2 beers cost me $30? And it's like they're not even pints. What are we doing here? Yeesh. Oh, and at one point, the bloody bar down the front of the Forum ran out of beer on tap. And the beers that they had in, like, I had only, like, pretty crummy beers in the cans there. And I'm like, oh, yeah, give us one of those whiskey and, dry cans. And it was the Neds. Yeah, that was probably why I feel so shitty, because it was just in the middle of all that beer. I fucking feel horrible today. There might be actually a bit of correlation causation in here with like every time you have one of those Neds, I reckon it just ruins my fucking stomach as well. But anyway, just nauseous, you know. Anywho, you can still buy me a coffee. That'd be much appreciated. Buymeacoffee.com/NBA Australia. Go there. You can shout us a tin, shout us a beer. The latest Dead Set Legends Club episode dropped yesterday. I put it up. It's awesome. It's all the top 10 all-time players at every position, according to me and my spreadsheet, which is where I list them. It's not, doesn't have any stats. It's just what I reckon. So like my rolling all-time ranks. And I think what we'll do next time is my favorite players at each position, which is awesome. If you've got any other ideas and stuff you want to pitch for the Dead Set Legends Club, send them through. It's very, very, very fun. We do have the idealized version of the landing spot for each Aussie, which is, I think, a really good one too. Anyway, buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. Join up. You get to join the Dead Set Legends Club. You get all the exclusive shit. Right. All NBA teams. 3/4 mark of the season. We've got teams, a lot of these teams are bang on like between 60, 61, 62 games at the moment. I was sort of looking at the standings and it hit me. I'm like, oh shit, everybody's like around 60 now, 61. So we should probably do our 3/4 season awards. And it's really interesting this year because obviously the 65 game mark throws a bit of a wrench in the spanner, as we like to say here in NBA Australia. Spanner in the works. Because you want to throw SGA, Jokic in the MVP convo, in the All-NBA convos. But there's a very, very slim margin, especially for Jokic to still be in that conversation for the end of season awards with the 65 game limit. SGA can only miss a couple more as well. So yeah, it's like getting it's getting a little bit sort of, I don't know, close to the bone. So with all the sort of NBA stars, where we're going to get to this point where at one point, are we going to have this strange situation where Cade Cunningham wins the MVP, right? So I think Jokic is only able to miss like maybe one more game. Ant-Man can only miss like 7 more, I think. SGA can only miss like 5 or 6. Luka can only miss 5 more. Wemby can only miss like 4 more. So bit of a strange one. But anyway, so I did it sort of as it stands, and like obviously whoever's eligible right now, let's do it. So my first team right now is Cade Cunningham, SGA, Jokic, Wemby, and Jaylen Brown. I've got Jaylen Brown in the top 5. Spoiler alert, he's also in the top 5 for MVP, ahead of the second team, which is Luka, Ant-Man, Tyrese Maxey, Donnie Mitchell, and Kevin Durant. Now, what I do like with All NBA is making an actual team. But the NBA, in all its wisdom and, positionless basketball is here, man. Shut up. Right? Fuck off. I could see a world where I put Wemby on the second team because it doesn't have a center on it at the moment, and probably chuck like Ant-Man onto the first team, maybe Luka. But I mean, Luka's obviously missed a few games here and there too. But I think that's the top 10, right? Cade, SGA, Jokic, Wemby, Jaylen Brown. Second team, Luka, Ant-Man, Maxey, Donnie Mitchell, and KD. And then third team, Jalen Brunson, Kawhi, Jamal Murray, who's playing his ass off. And then the last 2 spots, you're like, James Harden, I think might be right fucking there. Maybe Jalen Johnson, he's missed a few games here and there too. Jalen Duren, maybe. Like, it's all very, 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 very squirrely. In that, like, even Karl Anthony Towns has got a half decent like argument here. Like Booker, I think he's only played 44 games. He's going to miss a couple more. He's probably going to miss out. He's been very solid, like a 24.7 points, 6 assists season, shooting it okay, but only 30% from 3. I'd rather probably have Jalen Johnson or Harden ahead of him. But I think that's kind of like the top dudes, right? Like, I can't make a conversation. We'll make a point really for Norm, Paolo, Spindles Ingram, Brandon Miller, Şengün, like, yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. Connie Nips is almost knocking on the door. But so I think my third team would be Jalen Brunson, Jamal Murray, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, and I think Jalen Duren just ahead of Jalen Johnson. So Jalen Johnson, I think, has still got a bit of a chance to jump back in, but he's also missed a few games here or there. It's really, really strange. So the 3-quarter mark, MVP, and the rest of the awards. Right? What do you reckon there? Well, with my first team, that's essentially where we're at with the MVP. However, we talked this out, I think, at the halfway mark, that Cade and Jaylen Brown, in the simple idea of MVP, most valuable player, you look at the teams built around them, what they've achieved this year, and what I fucking hate is all the nerds with their, like, here's my advanced stats and like the shooting numbers and the scoring numbers and the on-off splits. It's like, yeah, good. What's the fun fucking idea story when you sit down and you watch the game? Like, Cade's out there with Jalen Duren, Orsar Thompson, Tobias Harris, fighting Ron Holland, Karis LeVert. Jaylen Brown's got, Pritch better have my money. Derek White and, Namus Cater. And I feel like they're doing a lot more with less than SGA and Jokic. I think SGA and Jokic are probably the two best players alive. SGA, I mean, OKC look fucking good without him anyway. Jokic, so a little bit more iffy, but again, he's come back and they've still not looked fucking right. So I kind of think my MVP ranking right now might be Cade number 1. And I know that, like, basketball nerds out there are like, no, Jim, no, his shooting's a bit shit. And fucking blah. His defense is fucking awesome. His team has the best record in the NBA. And he's like the clear fucking cut super duper star on that team, averaging a lazy 25.5 points a game on 46% from the floor, 33% from 3, which, as I mentioned, is better than Devin Booker. But of all the other sort of MVP candidates, it's like probably a tick below. But then he's also still at 9.8 assists per game, just behind Nikola Jokic. He's at 5.8 rebounds, 81% from the free throw line. He's just awesome. And yes, SGA is averaging almost 32 points a game, 6.5 assists, 4.4 rebounds. Like, that's fine. Cade's played 2 more games than SGA, whatever. I don't know, man. I feel like Cade does more for his team than SGA. And I feel like that's a little bit more valuable. Of course, there's a bloke named Nikola Jokic averaging a 28.7 point, 12.6 rebound, 10.3 assist fucking triple-double. He's played 46 games, so that's suddenly, like, what, 7 games less than Cade, so it's a little bit iffier. And Jaylen Brown, looking pretty good, 29 points a game, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, shooting the piss out of. He's at 34.9 from 3, 48% from the floor. I think I'm still going to go the simple idea. Who means the most to their team? Who has like the weakest supporting cast? I think I'm going to go Cade, Jaylen Brown, Jokic, SGA, then Luka, I guess. I think it's probably the 5th one there. I mean, Luka is averaging 32.5 points, 8.6 assists, 7.7 rebounds. Yes, the defense is fucking shocking, but still. So that might be the unpopular opinion. I don't fucking care. Like, Cade has his team on top of the fucking East, on top of the entire NBA, and his roster, it feels like much more bereft than a lot of the other dudes in that top 5. So give me Cade. And all the fucking, oh, yeah, look at these advanced numbers. Oh, he's not, he can't shoot. He can fucking settle down. Yes, he had a rough game today, but fucking, he is awesome. Love me some Cade. He's my 3-quarter season MVP. Rookie of the year. We're going Connie Nips. He's awesome. He's ahead of Cooper Flagg just for the simple fact that Coop de Loop Doop Doop has now missed a few extra games this last couple of weeks. He's at 49 games, I think, for the season is Coop. So 49 out of the 61 that I think the Mavs have now played. So I'll ding him for that, and I'll give Connie Nips the nod right now because Connie Nips is averaging 19.3 points a game. He's shooting 44% from three. He's made the most threes in the NBA. 3.5 assists, 5.5 rebounds. He's a weapon. He's awesome. VJ Edgecombe comes in at number 3 for me. He's been really, really good. Sort of had that dip. Has sort of figured out a little bit better how to play with Maxey. They got their asses kicked today, but you get that on the big jobs. Derek Queen still slides in there at number 4 because of the work that he's put in throughout the season. And number 5, I've got it either Maxime Renaud or Nick Clifford. Cedric Coward has just taken a little bit of a step back. I think Nick Clifford's been really good the last little bit. Maxey's been fan-fucking-tastic for the Kings. So, yeah. The fact that it is pretty funny that they're both a couple of Kings there at the end. I might give it to Maxey, that number 5 spot. He's just been super solid every time he's been asked to do much. Nick has sort of only recently gotten much more of a nod from Doug Christie, who is our least good coach of the year. He's so fucking bad. Defensive player of the year, it's Wemby. God damn it. He's just out there pantsing dudes left, right, and center. Like some of the swats that he had today against the Sixers, like, go on, shoot it, bang, get out of here, idiot. Jalen Duren comes in at number 2. Bam at number 3. Chet at number 4. Rudy Gobert, Gustavo Tower at number 5. That's the big man defensive player of the year. You know what we could also do? The perimeter defensive player of the year. It's fucking weird that we just go, yeah, you're all doing the same thing. It's a very different type of defense, big versus like perimeter, right? So your perimeter defensive player of the year is, how about Amen and Orsar Thompson, Dyson Daniels, Dylan Brooks, and Lou Dort? Probably almost in that order. Yeah, don't mind that. It's a little bit terrifying what they're doing out there on the perimeter. So I like that. Most improved player. Jalen Johnson, Jalen Duren, Denny Avdia, Onyeka Okongwu, and Josh Giddey. Gids is kind of just like the... I'll keep him in because he had improved so much in the first half of the season. Misses basically, most of a month with that injury, which sucks. But I think you can see his... The stupidest fucking narrative out there is like Josh Giddey can't shoot. He's worked and worked and worked. The threes have been dropping this season. He'll be fine. Fucking relax. He can shoot. But you just look at like a game like today against OKC. He still has fucking 14, 9, and 9. They get their ass kicked against one of the best defenses going. But Jalen Johnson has just taken that leap from like, oh, fuck, he's good to Jesus. He's on my All-NBA team. Jalen Duren, it's like he's just gone from like, oh, yeah, pretty solid, awesome defensive big man to, oh, fuck, centerpiece of like a championship defense, ? Denny Avdia basically kept on going from last year. He's been real fucking good until he hurt his back. Onyeka Okongwu as well. Some incredible stats about his three-point shooting, but he's been very, very, very solid. Nick Alexander-Walker was another one. It's like, did he improve that much, or is it just like a lot more of usage has gone through the roof, a lot more opportunity there in Atlanta? He's been really, really solid. 19 points a game. 19.8 points a game. Jesus. 3.8 assists, 3.6 rebounds. Very, very, very solid. Sixth man of the year. We're going to give this to Naz Reid again because he's just really fucking good. Anthony Black has probably started a few too many games here and there, but has been very good. Jaime Jaquez is really good too. Keldon Johnson, though, might be my number 2 pick right now. He's been fan-bloody-tastic. And Reed Shepherd, just sneaking up these rankings. He's in 5th now for my 6th man of the year. Coach of the year. This is a big one because like it feels like JB Bickerstaff, coach of those Detroit basketballing Pistons, should be like the right-in favorite, right? Now I look at this. OKC's got a better winning percentage than the Detroit Pistons. So all my shit talk about Cade Cunningham and the number 1 seeded Pistons, well, they're actually 45-15 versus the 48-15 of the Thunder. Bloody hell. Anyway. I'm going to give this the 41-20 Boston Celtics. It feels like Joey Muzz. Oh, bro, today we fucking watched the town twice. We watched the back-to-back and then we played a game and we fucking killed some dudes, man. Do you want to do some jiu-jitsu with me? He has been absolutely off his head. This is meant to be their shit year. Like there were people talking, maybe they should tank. Meanwhile, he's got them second in the East, 41-20. Give that man Coach of the Year. JB Bickerstaff at 45-15. Very Nash. Dagenham obviously has the Thunder at 48-15, the best record in the NBA. Got that one right now. Mitch Johnson for the Spurs has them at 44-17, above all expectation. And I think we had Jordan Ott there for a little bit for the Suns. He's been very good, but they've also, lost a couple of dudes. 34-26. Yeah, it's getting a bit squirrely. Kenny Atkinson has done a very good job, I think, with Cleveland. And the dude that you won't hear too many Coach of the Year chatter, too much chatter about is Mike Brown. But, I mean, the fact that the Knicks are still 40-22 after moving on from Tibbs is pretty good. So, not bad. Dickhead of the Year, it's still Draymond. It's his to lose, right? Giannis has been there as well. He's put his hand up a couple of times. Jokic, with his weird collapsing on top of dudes and putting his entire body weight on them, is just fucking weird and a bit dickheady. Ja Morant for being Ja Morant. Trae Young for being Trae Young and demanding a trade to Washington. Yeah, bit weird. Tell you what. But I also wanted to very quickly, we'll do another separate video of this because we did it before the season, ranking the NBA Jaylens. Who have been the best Jaylens in the NBA this year, Jim? Let's find out. Jaylen Brown at number 1. He's in my top, 2 for MVP, just saying. Jalen Brunson, he's in my All-NBA. Jalen Duren, he just beat out Jalen Johnson for that last All-NBA spot for me, so I've got him ahead of Jalen Johnson. Then we've got Jalen Tyson ahead of Jalen Suggs, just because Suggs just can't seem to get fucking right. And he just always seems to be sort of playing his way back into form. So I've got Tyson ahead of Suggs. He's had a surprisingly excellent year. Suggs still very good. Jalen Williams just has barely played for the Thunder, so that's why he's so far down. He's trailed by Jalen Williams, the man behind him on his team with the same name. Jalen Green for your Phoenix Suns has barely played as well with all the calf and hammy injury problems. Jalen Wells has been very good for the Grizzlies, toiling away there. Jalen Smith, he's as dumb as a fucking cinder block, but hasn't been too bad. Jalen Pickett, not too bad as well. Jalen Wilson for the Nets and Jalen Clark for the Wolves. There are your definitive Jalen ranks of the NBA 3/4 of the way through the season. All right, now who's been the worst coach so far this year? It's Doug Christie. Because I feel like this is the least talked about aspect of how shit the Kings are. Because remember, they were like, we're going into this season, we're not trying to tank. We've spent a bunch of money, we've got a bunch of dudes. I still do love that the Sacramento Kings watched the Chicago Bulls achieve exactly, absolutely fucking nothing with DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine pairing them together and went, yeah, we want a bit of that. Come on, bring that over here. Oh, yeah, look at this. Oh. Doug Christie has been an absolute fucking train wreck as a coach. Like 14-48 with a team that's been trying to not lose is just jaw-droppingly shithouse. So, great job, Doug. Outside of this, it's still funny that James Borrego is like the interim coach. He's going to coach out like the full season with the Pelicans. You can't really dog him for that much. Sneakily, Steve Kerr, the Jonathan Kuminga situation, seemingly, people make excuses for the Warriors, right? Kuminga was never going to work there. He just didn't fit. Oh, why is that? Well, Steve Kerr, he's a brain genius, smart, awesome coach. We know this. Oh, yeah, cool. I don't know how you've just been so frustrated with a player. I can kind of understand it. That you just go, nah, don't care. I don't care how talented he is. He's not playing our way, the Warriors' way. It's like, maybe you should try a bit fucking harder. Just saying. Just saying. And outside of that, I mean, you got a couple of other dudes. I think probably my favorite in like the least valuable coaching award in the East, Stakes, has got to be your man, Billy Donovan. Talk about flying under the radar for being shithouse. Fucking hell. 25-37 now, the Bulls. Remember, their natural status is within 3 games of 500. So the arse has completely fallen out of the Bulls season. They've now gone in the tank. Good on them. And coming in second to him is obviously Doc Rivers, 26-34. They've got Giannis back. They still got fucking killed by the Celtics. So But I think Doug Christie ahead of Billy Donovan, just amazing gear. Just, so many brain geniuses. Right. Otherwise, is that it? I think that was all of them. So MVP at the moment, I'm just going to give it to Cade. He's been fucking awesome. Rookie of the Year is Connie Nips. Defensive Player of the Year is Wemby. Most Improved Player, Jalen Johnson, ahead of Jalen Duren and Denny Avdia. Sure. Sixth Man, Naz Reid. Coach of the Year, Joey Muzz. Dickhead of the Year, Draymond Green. Bloke I'd most like to have a beer with, Joe Ingles, once again, to the fucking moon. Love that. All right, let's have a quick Australian player watch. Oh, yeah. Had a couple of the Aussies in action today. We obviously had Josh Giddey going out there up against the Oklahoma City Thunder, his old team. I've got the jersey there behind me. If you can see that. Yeah, the old OKC 3 behind my head if you're watching on the YouTube. 14 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal, 4 turnovers, shot 5 of 12 from the floor, 3 of 7 from downtown. See? This fucking idea of, you can't shoot. Oh, shut up. Just shut up. Lockie Ulbrich played 3 minutes in that game as well. He went 0 of 1. He took a 3. He missed it. He did have 2 rebounds and 2 assists, though, in 3 minutes. Not bad. Good size. Jinglin Joe Ingles copped the did not play coach's decision against Memphis, and Josh Green played and got 11 points against his old team. Showed him, I'll tell you that much, on your Greenie up against the Dallas Mavs. 11 points, 4 of 6 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. And Tyrese Proctor also copped a did not play coach's decision against the Detroit basketballing Pistons. Right, let's do an Andrew Gaze Great Mamba Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence and a Shane Hill Shoot Your Shot, Light 'em Up Award combo.
It's the first annual
Andrew Gaze Great Mamba.
Outstanding achievement in excellence.
He threw it down. Are you healed? Are you healed? Praise the Lord, I'm healed.
Praise the Lord, for I'm healed. It is the Shane Hill
Shoot.
Shoot Your Shot, Light 'em Up Award.
Yeah. So LeBron being 11 field goals away from being the all-time leader in career field goals made. There's this weird little quirk, right? So he needed 11 to break Kareem's record. He already had 10 that weren't counted, because remember how the Lakers won the NBA Cup title? Remember that? He had 10 made field goals in that. But they don't count because they were in the championship game. The other in-season tournament, NBA Cup games, count, but the title game doesn't. So he was actually really only 1 away of actual made field goals in NBA games. A bit strange, but so far today, he's still 7 of 9 against the Pelicans. We're at the end of the third quarter, so still needs 4. Maybe he'll get there. So maybe we'll be talking about this on tomorrow's show. But anyway, it's still crazy. Just like the LeBron stats, we don't probably take enough time to sit back and go, fuck me dead, that is chaos. Right? His numbers are just absurd. So Kareem's record is 15,837 made field goals. 15,837. LeBron's already got the most points. He's second in free throws made, and he's 6th in three-pointers made. Not bad. Good size. Like, it's just stunning. Stunning numbers from LeBron. And it just sort of, look, we'll probably spend all of next year just eulogizing his amazing career as he does his fucking farewell retirement tour, but just, he's pretty good. Let's all be honest here. One extra little Shane Hill Shoot Your Shot, Light 'em Up Award. Anthony Edwards has already hit 1,289 threes with the 7 that he made today, right? That means he's 83rd all-time, passing our beloved Pearl Jam. Now, do you get the joke? Mookie Blaylock. That was their name before they were Pearl Jam, right? Mookie Blaylock, erstwhile Atlanta Hawks legend. I love me Mookie Blaylock when I was growing up. And so he's gone past him. Mookie Blaylock hit 1,280... Where was he? 1,283. That was for 87th all time, sorry. But meanwhile, Mookie Blaylock did that in his entire career. Anthony Edwards just went past him, and Anthony Edwards is... How old is he? He's 24. Fucking hell. Shoot is shoot. Whereas Mookie Blaylock played 13 years and hit that many threes. I'll tell you, and he averaged, his highest 3 points attempted in a season was actually 7.7 per game in 96 and 97. So not bad. He did launch a lot of threes. He only played for 13 years though. Whereas Ant-Man is just out there going absolutely fucking hammer and tongs. The lowest he has averaged is 6.7. Fucking hell. Ant-Man's gonna hit some fucking threes, because remember, shoot is shoot. All right, let's do some game previews for tomorrow. All right. Remember, you can find all our picks over at Dabble. I don't know if I got them up in time today because I was too hungover. But yes, you can go check it out. The link is in our social bios and our show description if you want to go follow along. I think we've done all right today. From the ones that I said on yesterday, if you just listened to the show, you would have heard yesterday's picks. I think we crushed it, because this is the thing with these picks right now. With the Tankathon teams, as I keep saying, you can't really put these lines high enough. We saw Charlotte cover, nailed that. We picked Detroit, so that was a miss. We picked Orlando to cover, and they did. We picked Miami to cover, and they killed Brooklyn. We picked the Knicks, so there we go. What's that? That's 4 of 5 already. We picked the Spurs to beat the Sixers. That's another one. So yeah, OKC, Chicago, they didn't cover, because that's 8 points. I think they were at 9.5, maybe. And Minnesota, I think, don't know if I think they might have been 7.5, and they only won by 7, but still. Find all of those picks over at Double. All right, do we have a quick, what do we got? A brief look at our man. Let's see if Patty Mills has done anything on the old tweet machine. No, but I think we saw a Josh Giddey story with the shoes. Looking good. All right. Thursday's games. Got a couple of good ones in here. Charlotte, Boston's a ripper. OKC at the New York Knickerbockers of New York City. However, that is your first game tomorrow at 11 a.m. The Thunder are 4.5-point favorites in New York. Both teams coming off a game. This is a cracker. I might take the Knicks plus 4.5. It does feel like it's one of those games, however, where the Knicks are made to look very bad. But we saw the Knicks beat the Spurs. I'm just saying they might have another pretty good crack here. So I'm going to take the Knicks plus 4.5, because at home against a Thunder team that's just, still getting bits and pieces back, relying a lot on Jared McCain and Isaiah Joe. How's that feel, Philly? I'll take the Knicks plus 4.5. Then we have Boston hosting Charlotte. That game is a cracker. The Hornets are 6.5-point underdogs against the Celtics. I'm going to take the Charlotte Hornets plus 6.5. I think they can hang with Boston, maybe even beat them outright. So let's go the Hornets plus 6.5. Utah head into Philly. So with the Sixers coming off a pretty rough loss today, 40-point loss to the Spurs, the line's a bit too big. It's 9.5. The Sixers are favored to buy. I'm going to take Orlando plus 9.5. I think Philly win this. I don't know if they make it easy on themselves though, right? Orlando played the Nuggets to a bit of a standstill, lost by 10 to the Pels, lost by 11 to the Pels, 20 to the Rockets. Philly, Keontae George versus your man's Maxey. Sixers get it done, but I'll take the plus 9.5. We also then have Portland, Memphis. Oof. We don't have a line for that because Memphis are just coming off their loss today in Minnesota. I'll take the Blazers, and I think it won't really matter what that line is. I reckon Portland should be pretty fired up. They need a big win. Milwaukee, Atlanta is the second sort of TV game tomorrow at 1:30. The Bucks are 1.5-point favorites against Atlanta. I am going to take the Atlanta Hawks plus 1.5 because this is the double tank game, remember? Atlanta get the best of Milwaukee or New Orleans picks. So they really want to keep tagging Milwaukee with some losses here. So I like the Hawks. Kuminga up against Kuzma. That'll be fun. Kuzma Copter did not play coach's decision the other day. Jesus. Talk about useless. How did Middleton not get a buyout and go back to Milwaukee? Anyway, Atlanta, I'm going to take them plus 1.5. I think their defense will be pretty good, pretty solid. They're too good, bit too deep for this Bucks team, even with Giannis back. And then Indy at the Clippers. That'll be a big Clippers line. I reckon there's no line there for the minute. I would probably say 12.5, 14.5 for the Clippers. And I'd probably still go the Clippers because this tank shenanigan-y kind of stuff is, as I keep saying, can't make those lines big enough. Sausage. All right, but there you go. That's it for today. Those picks will be up in Dabble hopefully tomorrow if I can chuck them up. We'll do the video tomorrow morning as well. I am going to go see Phoenix Wildcats tonight, so that should be pretty fun. Who do we like in that one? Both teams are playing pretty well. Might go the Phoenix. Should be a really fun game though, so should be good. Keep an eye out for your mate Jim on the telly. Hello there he is. All right, but we'll be back on deck tomorrow for a quick hitter in the afternoon on YouTube and Spotify video. In the meantime, make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, and YouTube, all the good stuff. But get around our new footy show, Footy Unfilterated. Myself and Jez, my buddy Jez, good hangs, good chats. We basically just taped a test show and chucked it up. Very low-key, very chill, talking a lot of footy. We did our season win totals over-unders, which is awesome for every single AFL team. Gave away some award predictions. Set you up for week 0, which starts tomorrow. So, footy's back, and it's really good to chat about it again. Footy Unfilterated. Go find it on YouTube and on all your podcast apps. Same goes for NFL Straya and Jim Does Supercoach. Jim Does Supercoach came back with a bang with NBA Supercoach this week. And we'll do an AFL Supercoach show, team reveal kind of thing. I think this Friday. We'll do a team reveal one, I think, for that. And then we'll do an actual sort of like, once we have the round 1 teams next week, we'll try to figure it out from there. Should be good, though. Right, so follow them all on your podcast apps, of course. What else? Big thanks to go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. Check out House Hats, Josh Rentus, Fascinating Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa section to Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear, so smash them on your music streaming platform of choice. buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. Shout us a beer, shout us a tin if you can. Be much appreciated. Keep the lights on here. And what else? That's about it. Go join the Dead Set Legends Club. Be good to have you. Then you can listen to the exclusive shows. But that's it. Nothing at the end of this one because I've got to get out of here and get ready to go do some stuff and get into the city and go see the Phoenix and the Wildcats game. So we'll catch you quickly over on YouTube and Spotify video tomorrow, you dickheads. This is NBA Straya saying look after yourselves, would you? And, Vale Dennis Committee, centimetre perfect, like a librarian. Later, Hosen.